Claire and Haley are best friends, and they are on the beach watching their crush, Ray, as he mounts his post as a lifeguard. The two girls appear to know a lot about him, but they've still not been able to get him to like them. After a while, Claire brings up the topic of Haley's relocation to Australia with her mom. Haley tells her friend not to worry, because she's going to make sure she doesn't leave. Shortly after, they watch as a girl named Cecilia strolls onto the beach and tries to get Ray's attention. As Ray appears to be enjoying her company, the girls get frustrated and decide to leave the beach to help Claire's grandparents at their beach club. As they carry some boxes to the storeroom, they are startled by a weird man named Leonard, who tries to make a joke, but the girls don't get it. A while later, Haley heads home and doesn't look happy when she sees the boxes her mom, Ginny, has already packed. Ginny comes over to meet her daughter to convince her that moving to a new country is not as bad as she thinks, but Haley says she wants to spend her teenage years with Claire. They eventually argue about it, and Ginny has to leave the room. Later that night, the girls meet up at the recreation room at the beach club to watch the weather news, which is being presented by Cecilia's father, Storm. The subject of their conversation soon changes, and Claire says she doesn't think she can cope without Haley for the next semester in school. Haley continues to reassure her that she's going nowhere, and she also says a prayer to help her mom see why she needs to stay with her friend. Shortly after, a huge storm hits, and Claire's grandma Maggie comes over to get the girls to go inside the house. The storm appears to be really serious, and it causes a huge wave to wash up part of the ocean into a pool at the beach club. The next morning, the girls head out to the poolside, where Ray is about to clean. As he talks about the storm with Claire's grandpa, Bob, the girls immediately run to meet them when they hear the men talk about canceling an upcoming party on the beach. While Haley is trying to convince Bob to keep the beach club open, Claire sees a shiny light inside the pool. As she goes closer, she slips into the pool, and as she struggles to swim back up, she sees a strange creature. Ray is quick to jump in to save her, but as she comes out, she tells everyone that there's a shark inside the pool. Bob says it's most likely something that washed up from the ocean, and he would have the pool drained in the morning. Haley also thinks her friend is still probably in shock because she doesn't like water bodies, since her parents died after drowning in the ocean. When the two girls are alone, Claire tells Haley that she saw something weird inside the pool. She keeps insisting that they check again, and the two friends decide to check it at night. That night, the girls break into the beach club and go to the pool to see what could be inside. As they throw several objects inside, hoping it lures the weird creature out, they are left surprised when they see that it's a girl named Aquamarine. As she swims to meet them, they realize she's a mermaid, and they can hardly stop themselves from screaming. Aquamarine looks excited to see the girls and says it's the first time she has been so close to humans. She also confirms to them that she's real and that she only swam away from home because her dad wants to marry her off to a merman. Before she can talk any further, Leonard hears something by the poolside and decides to check. The girls hear him coming and promise to come back for Aquamarine in the morning, after which they escape. The next morning, when they wake up, Haley and Claire are shocked to see some men draining the pool. They immediately run outside, but don't see Aquamarine inside the pool. As they wonder where she might be, they hear a strange sound coming from a room opposite the pool. They decide to check it and are surprised to see Aquamarine. They look happy to see her, and she also shows them that she now has legs. Haley gives her a shirt to wear, and when they're inside the house, Aquamarine tells them that she can only have legs when the sun is out. As she goes further to explain that she must not get her legs wet, she appears to get a call through a seashell. She says it's from her dad, and as he shouts at her for running away from home, she says she's not ready to come back until she has found love. His anger seems to get the weather to change, leaving Claire and Haley shocked by this. After Aquamarine and her father come to an agreement for her to return home in 3 days, if she doesn't find someone who loves her, the call ends. She then tells her new friends that she needs to find love before she returns home. She says in the ocean, they're only allowed to marry someone picked by their parents, and love is a myth over there. The girls ask how she knows it's not a myth, and she says she has seen it before. Shortly after, as they try to see who they can match her with, Aquamarine sees Ray and says she wants him. The girls don't look happy about this, but Aquamarine runs off to meet Ray to ask if he loves her. Ray looks confused by this and says he doesn't love her, but he tells her she's beautiful. He eventually leaves with his friends, and she heads back to meet Haley and Claire, looking sad. She says Ray doesn't love her, and the girls tell Aquamarine that it doesn't work like that, and she might even have to pick someone else, because every girl in the town wants him. Aquamarine insists that he's the one she wants, and as the girls say they don't think they can help her with him, she says it means they won't get a wish. Haley and Claire look confused, but they ask for more details. Aquamarine then tells them that anyone who helps a mermaid gets to wish for anything they want. Because the girls know they can use their wish to keep Haley from moving to Australia, they decide to help Aquamarine. Shortly after, while he's checking the pool, Leonard finds a necklace and some large fish scales, which keeps him worried. The girls head over to Haley's house, and as Aquamarine sees several objects from the ocean, she asks Haley what her mom does. She says Ginny is a marine biologist who has been working to clean the ocean since they moved into town. Aquamarine says Ginny deserves a lot of praise because the ocean is cleaner than it used to be. Haley is surprised by this, and for the first time, she realizes that her mom is doing some good work, and it's why she wants to move to a new country. Shortly after, the girls start teaching Aquamarine several ways to get Ray. Later that day, while trying one of their tricks by riding a bike in front of his house, Aquamarine falls and injures herself. Ray quickly runs out to help her, and there, he asks if he'll see her again at the street fair happening later in the day. She says she'll be there, and just then, Cecilia and her friends arrive at Ray's house to pick him up for their driving lessons. While he goes inside to get his things, Cecilia makes fun of Haley and Claire. Aquamarine doesn't like this, and she also makes a joke about Cecilia's name, which leaves Haley and Claire happy. They soon head home, and while talking about what happened at Ray's house, Aquamarine says she can't stop thinking about him. Haley and Claire then start to prepare her for when she sees him at the street fair again. Things go according to plan at the street fair, with Ray getting Aquamarine a stuffed toy and also asking her to join him on a boat ride. Haley and Claire are happy to see this, and they believe Ray likes their new friend. While on the boat, Ray says Aquamarine is not like the other girls in town, and he would love to know her better. He asks how long she'll be in town, and she tells him she has only 2 days left. Just as he's about to ask her to be his date for an upcoming party on the beach, she sees the sunset and realizes that she needs to leave him before she transforms into a mermaid. She returns to meet Haley and Claire, who then take her away to find where she can stay. Meanwhile, Cecilia sees an opportunity and goes to meet Ray to get him to ask her out to the party. As Haley and Claire worry about where to take Aquamarine, she tells them not to take her into the ocean because her father will just use the currents to suck her back in. With this, the girls finally decide to let Aquamarine stay in a water tank at the top of a tower. As they climb the tower, Aquamarine tells them about what she and Ray were talking about. Haley and Claire realize that he was going to ask her to be his date for the party, and Aquamarine is excited about this. After she is left alone in the tank, Haley and Claire head back home. Haley sees that almost all her things have been packed, and she tells Claire that she really wants the wish. Shortly after, she says that they need to take Aquamarine shopping for what to wear for the party. The next morning, the 3 girls head out to the city, and after getting all the clothes they need, they return home. Later that day, Aquamarine starts talking about how much she likes Ray. She then mentions that the first and only time she saw love up close was with a couple whose boat always passed her in the ocean. As she mentions the name of the boat, Claire realizes that it was her parents' boat, and Aquamarine says sorry for what happened to them, after which she says Claire's parents would have wanted her to like the ocean and not be scared of it. When the 3 girls are then at a restaurant, they learn that Ray has asked Cecilia to be his date for the party. Aquamarine is not happy with this, and she runs off. As Haley complains about not getting her wish, Claire says they can still get what they want. She tells Haley to stop Aquamarine from entering the ocean while she goes to speak to Ray. Haley succeeds in convincing Aquamarine to stay, and Claire also gets to talk to Ray, who says Cecilia told him Aquamarine has a boyfriend. Claire tells him it's a lie, and he gets mad at Cecilia for lying. Ray eventually follows Claire home, and when he meets Aquamarine, he asks her to be his date, and she accepts. The next day at the party, Ray takes Aquamarine to a restaurant, and after a while, they start dancing. Meanwhile, Haley hears Maggie praising Ginny for the grant she just got that will make her leave town. Ginny says she has been chasing it for over 10 years and she's happy to finally get it. With this, Haley discovers that the grant is important to her mom, and it's also why she has to leave town. Shortly after, Aquamarine has to leave again before the sun comes down. Ray doesn't understand why she has to leave, but she promises to see him the next day. Haley and Claire immediately take her back to the tank, but Cecilia follows them with her friends. After Haley and Claire leave, Cecilia steps out of the car to check the tank, but her friends are more interested in the party, so they leave her alone. While Aquamarine is swimming in the tank, Cecilia opens the door and sees that she's a mermaid. She locks the door and heads back down to tell her friends, but she's shocked to see that they've left. Just then, she heads back to the tower and pushes down a part of the ladder so that no one can reach Aquamarine. After this, Cecilia returns to the party and tells her friends about what she saw. They laugh at her because they believe mermaids are not real, and this makes Cecilia leave angrily. However, Leonard hears this and returns to his apartment to check the necklace he found. After checking a book on mermaids, he sees that the symbol on the necklace looks like the one in the book. The next morning, Cecilia tells her father that she saw a mermaid in a water tank while on her morning run. Seeing as this could be big for his career, he heads out to get his team to move to the tank to report the story. Elsewhere, Haley goes to meet Claire at her house and tells her friend that they need to think about their wish again. She says she's considering choosing something else because her mom has worked so hard to leave town and she doesn't want it to go to waste. Claire is disappointed to hear this, and they get into an argument that sees Haley leave the house angrily. Suddenly, Claire sees Cecilia's father, Storm, reporting a story of a mermaid at the water tower. She realizes that Aquamarine is in trouble and runs out to tell Haley. They head over to the water tower and see that the ladder has been pulled down. Shortly after, the police check the tank and see only a stuffed toy inside. Storm is embarrassed by this, but Cecilia says she knows what she saw. Haley and Claire immediately leave the scene to look for Aquamarine elsewhere. Meanwhile, it turns out that Leonard saved Aquamarine from the tank before anyone noticed. She thanks him for it, and he returns her necklace. He also tells her that he's happy to talk to her because everyone in the town thinks he's weird, so they've not been speaking to him. She then tells him that since he helped her, he can make a wish. He looks happy and wishes to have someone to love him, and she grants it. Shortly after, Haley and Claire head to a bridge where Ray and Aquamarine were supposed to meet. Even though Ray is there, Aquamarine doesn't arrive until much later. While the girls hide under the bridge, Aquamarine and Ray start talking about how they feel for each other. She asks if he loves her and is disappointed to hear him say he doesn't. However, he says he likes her very much and hopes they can spend more time together. As Ray asks why he has to be in love with her that day, Cecilia shows up and pushes Aquamarine into the ocean. Meanwhile, the clouds get darker, and after Aquamarine changes into a mermaid, the current starts sucking her back in. Despite being shocked to see that she's a mermaid, Ray still says he's going to help her, leaving Cecilia shocked. While he goes back to get his surfboard, Haley says she's going into the ocean to save Aquamarine. Claire finally lets go of her fear of the ocean and joins her friend. They then finally get to Aquamarine, who says there's no one loving her on land and she has to go back to her dad. They tell her she doesn't have to go back yet and that she can take their wish and use it to ensure her dad doesn't take her. She asks why they would do such a thing for her, and they tell her it's because they love her. Aquamarine starts crying, and as the tears drop into the ocean, the cloud gets clearer and everything goes back to normal. She realizes that her father has acknowledged that love is real, especially after what the girls did. She then tells the girls that she still has to fix things back home, but she says she'll definitely return soon. She also adds that the girls still have their wish and they can use it anytime they want. Shortly after, Ray heads towards them on his surfboard, and the girls say goodbye to Aquamarine. As they swim back to the beach, the two friends decide to use their wish to get Claire to visit Haley in Australia during the next summer break. Meanwhile, Aquamarine apologizes for not telling Ray about being a mermaid. He says he doesn't care and only wants her to stay. She says she has to go back home first, but promises to come back for him. They both look happy together, and he says he'll wait for her. Claire and Haley get back to the beach, and before they walk away, Ray shows up and thanks them for helping him and Aquamarine. He soon walks away, and the girls look excited to finally have him as their close friend. Just then, they hug each other and go separate ways as Haley prepares to leave town.